Came without warning, and when it was over, you probably remember these images. A Twin Cities prep school was changed forever. A natural gas explosion destroyed part of Minnehaha Academy nearly 8 years ago. And now a new exhibit is looking back at that very difficult time.
Maury Glover shows us that that tragedy was just part of the most recent chapter of that school's history.
On the shores of the mighty Mississippi, time can flow as quickly as the rushing waters of the river. Minnehaha Academy has stood as a testament to education for more than 100 years. But like the body of water it sits above, some lessons learned aren't always visible on the surface. Inside the school, a timeline of events from its first century covers one of the walls. But the last few years have changed the course of the academy forever.
Up there we have the water drops. These are all the things that happened, so it wasn't just the explosion.
Archivist Elaine Eckstead recently completed a new display she calls the Thru the Waters exhibit, inspired by a Bible verse from the book of Isaiah.
When you pass through the waters, they will not overwhelm you. I am with you.
She says it chronicles the wave after wave of unexpected challenges the school has faced in recent memory that have finally left it standing on solid ground.
You know, we need to tell the story of this 5-6 year period here, because this is a piece of the school's history that needs to be captured.
There was a gas leak. Everything just kind of like...
The explosion was pretty massive.
One of those waves happened on August 2nd, 2017, when a natural gas explosion leveled much of the main building and damaged other parts of the school as well. The blast killed receptionist Ruth Berg and part-time janitor John Carlson and severely injured several others.
All the windows were blown out, but we were able to crawl through the bottom.
Among the items on display, the shoes President Donna Harris was blown out of as she tried to find her way out of the building after hearing about the gas leak.
I just will never, ever forget the sound that occurred. I don't know, people talk about it differently, but it sounded just like this loud blast, like a train or something, and then immediately everything started falling in. All of the walls disappeared, the ceiling, the cement ceiling.
To her, they're a reminder of how fragile life can be. After a forensic engineer told her if she had taken another couple of steps, she probably wouldn't be here.
I walk by that exhibit fast sometimes when I see them. It was just such an unbelievable thing that occurred that it will never leave your heart and mind, ever. Those shoes, I don't ever want to wear them again.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. There's been a lot of stuff that has happened.
Also on display, a pipe wrench bent by the force of the blast in the remnants of the boiler room, which was the epicenter of the explosion.
There's a lot of things that I've seen that just make no sense. You know, solid steel doors that got blown, 100 feet away across the campus room, from the boiler room. Just a lot of different things that it's just like, how does that happen?
The exhibit also showcases how the school had to move to an office building with no gym, no kitchen, and one hallway in Mendota Heights for 2 years before coming back to a rebuilt upper campus in 2019. But they had to leave again a few months later as COVID-19 forced the school into distance learning in March of 2020.
Our community became very resilient.
But in the middle of all the upheaval, there were silver linings. The new building allowed the academy to resume in-person classes in the fall of 2020 because it had a state-of-the-art HVAC system and more room for students and staff to spread out. And school administrators say navigating the aftermath of the explosion made the entire school community more responsive to handle the challenges that came with the pandemic.
You know, it's not the mountaintop experiences that help us grow, right? It's those valley experiences and challenges that cause us to grow and to persist and to have confidence the next times.
From the sign and cornerstone out front to the stair treads in the lobby, there are elements of the old school in the new building. And Ekstead hopes the rough waters of the last few years won't be making waves in the future.
If you're going to give someone a tour of the school, go down the hall for the 100 years and then bring them back here, because this is part of the story that needs to be told.
In Minneapolis, Maury Glover, Fox 9.
Built on resilience, that school.
Yeah, standing there and seeing that huge gaping hole that almost didn't seem real. Donna Harris is so right, though, that your characters build in the valley experiences and the challenges.
Doesn't seem that long ago.
It does.
I remember stepping on foot on campus there the day after, and what a massive, massive site it was at that explosion site.
And the way Maury put that together, it wasn't just the 2017 explosion,
right.
But you think they get through that emergency and then COVID. And getting through all of that, it's been a lot of valley experiences for them to get through.
Good on them for getting through all that.